Trading a small account is difficult. Every loss is more detrimental. You have less risk management options, and of course, there is the big evil PDT rule. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how to set up your account to take as many day trades as you want, even with less than $25,000. And no, we're not going to be talking about moving to offshore brokerages or funded accounts, any of that shady stuff. We are going to stay in American money-insured brokerages, and you're going to be able to take all the trades you want. Not only that, but we are also going to be building a scanner together step by step that aligns with our PDT bypass strategy so that you can find the right types of stocks to trade every day. And we might even come back over and talk about this strategy. You'll have to wait and see on that one. Pattern day trader is a regulatory designation for those traders or investors that execute 4 or more day trades over the span of 5 business days using a margin account. If you do this, your account will be marked as a pattern day trader and you will no longer be able to close trades on the same day in which you open them. But what was the last few words of that rule? Using a margin account. That's the part of the rule that we can exploit and get around in order to take as many trades as we would like. There are 2 separate account types you can open within any American brokerage. There is a margin account, then there is a cash account. And the big upside for a cash account, as you'll notice in this list here, is there is no PDT rule. There are 0 regulatory catches here. It's like, well, Trey, what if I trade 100 times in a day? You can trade 100 times in a day and no one is going to come after you if you are using a cash account. The one catch there is, however, is that you are limited by your buying power. However much money you utilize in a day trade, you cannot use that money again for the rest of the trading day. So if you have a $1,000 account, you can trade 10 times with $100. But every time you use that $100, you then only have $900 left to day trade with the rest of the day. 800, 700, 600. You catch my drift? And listen, that stinks, and I know it does, but you all actually have it lucky. They changed the settlement date on cash accounts not too long ago from T+2 to T+1. What this means for you is now you're going to get all your buying power back the next trading day. So if you have a $1,000 account, you use all $1,000 of your buying power. Don't worry, the next morning you wake up ready to trade, you will have that $1,000 of buying power left to utilize again. When I was trading a cash account before I got above $25,000, this was in or around 2020, the settlement date was T+2, meaning if I used buying power, I couldn't use it for the rest of the day. I couldn't use it tomorrow. Then I would get it back the following day. So really, I was only allowed to trade half of my buying power each day. You all, like I said, are now lucky. You can trade your full buying power every single day. And I don't know how much attention you all have been paying to the background here, but I actually have a day trading strategy that is tied in with a scanner to find the most volatile, strong stocks in the stock market and then enters them in the morning. And the goal is to not exit them until close. That is, of course, if they remain strong. But the goal of this strategy is only to take 1 trade a day per ticker. This is perfect for people using a cash account, and we're about to build this scanner and maybe even talk about this strategy coming up. What you're looking at here is the daily chart of the stock we were just looking at. This is the intraday 5-minute of that same stock with my strategy running on it. This is the daily chart. I'm showing you this because the daily charts are what we're going to be scanning for. We are looking for stocks that are ridiculously strong on their daily charts with the assumption that they have a higher likelihood for intraday continuation. To determine which stocks are strong, we need to utilize a study because you must have a value you can plug into a scanner, right? So the study that I utilize is the one next to me now called percent change. By default, percent change has a length of 14 and is set to utilize the closing price. What this means is that it is comparing the current bar's closing price to the closing price of the bar 14 bars ago. In our case here on QBTS, that is this current bar to 14 bars ago would be this one. And the value is currently at 133, meaning this bar is now 133% above this bar. So here we go into the scan tab now. I have two stock filters already turned on, simply set to close must be a minimum of an existing number basically, and the market cap must be an existing number. I have them set to as low as possible within Thinkorswim, and all this is doing is keeping the NA riffraff out of my scan results. Now, I'm going to come back into add filter, but this time rather than a stock filter, I'm going to add a study filter. Clicking onto the pencil of this study filter to open up our editor, I can hop into the edit button of the condition wizard here. And now this is where we're going to set the percent change being greater than a specific value. So let's go ahead and click into this left side drop down. We are going to look up the percent change study. So let's look into studies and type in percent CHG. Click on this one here. And what we're going to do actually first is we are going to change the price here from close to open. Now, this is actually a huge adjustment. And the reason why we do this is because if I were to go back, let me actually go back quickly and just look at this QBTS chart for a second. Watch this value of the study down here. Every time QBTS changes price, the percent change value is changing because it is, of course, based off of the closing price, which for some reason, I kind of wish it just didn't do this, but Thinkorswim considers the close of the current candle, if it's open, whatever the current price is. So the average percent, or not average, sorry, the percent change indicator will always be changing. When building a scanner like this, I don't want that to be true. I only want stocks to appear on the scanner that have met my necessary value for percent change as of open today. I don't want new stocks popping up on this scanner all throughout the day, as that will then horribly mess up my back testing. It will make me like run the strategy against stocks only because they got strong today. Then of course the strategy will look amazing, right? You need to base the strategy based on stocks that met your value at open. Does any of that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. If not, of course, this is YouTube. You can ask questions in the comment section down below. But percent change based off of the opening price is greater than, and on the right side drop down here, I'm simply going to select value as we want to set this greater than a value of 30. As I save this and as I hit OK, that study filter is now true. And now only stocks that based off of today's open was greater than 30% higher than the open of the bar 14 candles ago. I went ahead and ran this scanner, and let's take a look at some of the stocks being returned. First is CRNC. CRNC on the daily, a ridiculously strong move occurring right now. Next stock, TXMD, a ridiculously huge move over the last 2 days, even though it's selling off right now. Today, it did go from just above 170 to up over 240. Probably a kind of stock you want to have on a day trading watch list, especially when you're limited to the number of trades you can take. FCUV has gone from 40 cents to up over 75 cents, nearly a 100% range. In RXP, another stock making a huge multi-day move. Let's take a look at one more just to drive the point home. GEVO, another stock up over 100% in the last 5 or 6 trading days. And that's all great, but guess what? We're not even done building the scanner yet. We're still going to make it better. We're going to come in and we're going to add another study filter. The point of this study filter is going to be to check that stocks are currently at highs. We want to be seeing strong stocks, but also strong stocks currently on a blue sky breakout. Those are going to even increase the chances of intraday continuation. So, clicking on the pencil icon of this study, this time we're going to hop into the ThinkScript editor. We're going to type some actual code. Don't worry, it's a very easy code. Don't freak out. But we're going to look at the high price. Now, much like we changed the percent change study from close to open so that the value isn't changing throughout the day and the stocks that are on our scan results are on our scan results all day, we are going to be comparing the high value from yesterday. Because once again, if you use the high value from today, that means stocks will be appearing and disappearing off of our scan results all day, and we don't want that. So the high of yesterday is greater than the highest high point out of the last 10 bars. And then we have to, of course, offset that value by 2 so that the high of yesterday is comparing that to the highest high out of the last 10 bars, starting from the bar before itself. Does that make sense? Basically, just if the code part doesn't make any sense, just type it in. Basically, just is yesterday's high higher than the highest point of the last 10 bars before it? That's essentially all it is in plain English. If I now run this scanner, we have gone from 282 scan results down to 71. TXMD being the first one, and I'll show you what I mean. Yesterday's high is breaking well above the highest point of the 10 candles before it. This stock is currently strong and breaking out. Next stock down is NRXP. This stock, yesterday's high is higher than the highest point out of the last 10 bars. Strong stock, currently breaking out. Then we're going to add one more filter to this scanner. It's going to be our volume check. Only show me stocks that are trading very high volume. I don't want to mess with any of that low liquidity crap. I'm not dealing with awful bid to ask spreads. I'm not getting stuck in trades, any of that kind of mess. So add filter, study, pencil, and once again, we're going to hop back into the ThinkScript editor. I want to see stocks that have an average volume over the last 14 days offset by 1 because you don't want to compare it to the current bar's volume, else it'll never be greater than this. And I want it to be higher than 5 million. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The average volume over the last 14 bars is greater than 5 million. Or the volume from yesterday is greater than 5 million. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That is a good little check that I've found to add over the years now of running this scanner, just in case something got big news yesterday. If something got big news yesterday and popped huge volume all of a sudden, I would also like that to appear for intraday continuation on this scanner. So if I hit OK and scan, we went from 71 results. Let's see how many were eliminated, all the way down actually to 25. A lot of low volume crap gets to fly, right? Gets to fly because of horrible bid-ask spreads, pump and dumps, and other reasons that you want to avoid. So now you have a list of 25 of the current strongest stocks in the stock market. Now, what do we do with this information? How do you interpret 25 stocks and decide which ones may be the best to look at day trading today? To do that, we need to sort our results. We have a value that we are utilizing in our scan to quantify strength. That makes the decision for how to sort our results really easy. So let's come into the small little cog here to the right of our result header column, and I'm going to click on customize. I'm going to look up that percent change column, and I am going to add that to my current set. Now, if we go ahead and zoom this over, I can use this to sort my results top down. So I have a list of the strongest stocks in the stock market, and now I have them sorted for which one of these is the strongest. Number 1 right now is NITO. Pull up this stock. I mean, this thing is going absolutely berserk. 3 days ago, this was a less than 30-cent stock. Today, it touched $3.50, a over 1,000% change in 2 trading days. Absolutely insane. The next stock on the list, QNCCF. What is that? A 5 ticker symbol? I mean, still berserk. Yeah, I mean, this was a 12-cent stock up to $1.72. Absolutely mental, pulling back pretty hard today. Some penny stock. It's typically a decent rule of thumb to avoid 5 ticker stocks. RGTI, another stock going berserk. I mean, this was a less than $2 stock. A month ago, this was a less than $2 stock. Today, it's a $20 stock. We'll look at one more, QSI. This is once again, what is this? 5 trading days ago, this was a $1 stock. Today, it is breaking over $5.50. These are all probably stocks that you want to have stashed away on a watch list somewhere, especially if you have less than $25,000, you're trading a cash account, you're looking to capitalize on big moves as you can't take all the day trades you want. You're limited by your buying power, remember? And the final step of the scanner before we talk about the trade strategy a little bit, we're going to come into this middle hamburger icon here. I am going to save this. I'm going to call it runners. I'll call it runners and put some numbers on it so it doesn't overwrite my actual scanner. Back into my charts, open up this left-hand column here. Using one of my watch list gadgets, I will go into personal, if I can find the R of runners, load in that watch list to this scanner here. I will once again have to come in and also add that percent change column to this so that I can sort my results the same way I do for my scan tab. And now, since this watch list is linked to red and I have this chart linked to red, all throughout the day, I can be clicking and looking at these extremely strong stocks. And I can be watching them on their intraday charts, whatever time frame you choose. Once again, we're about to talk about my strategy. I'm not saying to copy my strategy, but we're about to talk about mine. Whichever time frame you choose, you now know you're looking at extremely strong stocks on the daily to hopefully take advantage of with your limited buying power day trades in your cash account. Now, my strategy, once again, as you can see, tends to only take 1 trade a day per ticker. This is perfect for cash accounts because it allows you to decide how many stocks you want to buy and what amount of your portfolio you want to commit to this strategy. And you know that on each stock you pick, you're only going to enter once that day. So it is very easy to manage your risk, which is normally very difficult to do in a cash account. Anyway, my strategy gets most of its juice from the scanner we just built. It will only trade stocks where the percent change open is greater than 30. Now, I don't have that high check in my strategy. You will notice here it's trading down here where the stock clearly was not making highs. I don't have that check in my strategy, but I do have it in my scanner as I found these stocks tend to be better ones to trade. Just pointing that out because someone will say it in the comment section. The strategy will trade down here as well. And hey, sometimes it works, huh? But in trading, it's all about not what can work, but what has a higher likelihood to work. And those breaking highs do have the higher likelihood. You'll notice a couple of things in my strategy settings here. First off, there's a plot. That is this cyan line you see plotted on all the charts. This cyan line represents yesterday's close. The strategy will only enter if the current price is above yesterday's close. A lot of times, these stocks that are really strong just like immediately gap down in the morning, and that's perfectly fine. The strategy avoids those trades. Next, you'll notice there is an upper RSI and a lower RSI value. The RSI, in order to buy, must be greater than 50. So it must be above yesterday's close and have a greater than 50 RSI. Essentially, it must begin to prove some sort of strength today before the strategy will just blindly enter it because it's been strong, right? Then it has this lower RSI. That is your stop loss. If the strategy doesn't make it to end of day, because of course the goal is to hold all day and to sell at close. But actually in this case and on this stock, there is a handful of instances where you'll notice the strategy doesn't quite make it. The stock doesn't quite make it. Shows a sign of weakness, gets out as the RSI breaks below 40. Shows a sign of weakness, gets out before the RSI closes, or as the RSI closes above 40 before the end of day here. And once again, stock begins to show weakness, strategy gets out there. So what I would do is I would run my screen like this when I was trading this strategy. I always had SPY up in the top left. I always like to see what the overall S&P 500 is doing. I would then look at my scanner in my left-hand column here, and I would populate these other 5 charts with stocks that I liked the look of, like NITO, just go down the list here, this QNCCF thing, RGTI, then we have QSI, and NRXP. I would load up the 5 top stocks off of my scanner. I have, of course, my runner strategy running on these charts here, and I have what's this called? What is this thing called? Your active trader. That's what it's called. I have my active trader loaded up so that I can easily one-click in and out of all of these charts as well. And then I would just sit like this. I would enter the stocks as they showed their strength and the strategy entered the stock. Then I would just watch this throughout the day. And if the stocks get stopped out, as guess what? A lot of times they do. If the stock gets stopped out, of course, you need to be watching, ready to hit sell. Else you just watch and hopefully watch like this NITO is doing today in at 227, currently up over $3. Hopefully watch your money roll in. Now I have made available a way for you to easily import this whole chart setup, the strategy itself, the scanner, as well as over 80 other thinkorswim codes. They are all available over on my website, daytradingstrategies.net. You're going to click on our codes. Once you're signed up, you could then click into the thinkorswim logo. Let's go ahead and import that runner's day trading strategy. So click on strategies, click on day trading. Of course, you get access to all of these codes, and they all come with these nifty share links. All you need to do, copy this share link, hop back over into your thinkorswim, set up in the top right, open shared item, paste in that link here, preview, import, and then the strategy is available from your edit studies modal. Go into strategies, type in DTS, as that's what I prefix all of my codes with. This one, of course, is DTS runners. As I add this to my chart and hit apply, you now see the strategy running on the chart itself. And once again, you access over 80 other, be it strategies, be it scanners, be it custom studies, all for one low price. You sign up, you get access to everything. Daytradingstrategies.net, linked in the description down below. Click on our codes, get signed up, and become a better trader today. Hopefully this video helped you, whether you learned about cash accounts, whether you enjoyed building the scanner and now enjoy having a list of all the strongest stocks in the stock market, whether you enjoyed the strategy, whether you enjoyed all of it. Please, if you enjoyed any bit, take the half second, hit the like button, means the world to me. Make sure you subscribed if you would like to continue learning. And with all that being said, I'll catch you all in the next one.